Hi everyone, and welcome back to another portfolio update. So this month I'm sitting at $130,224. So finally passing that 130 K mark. I was actually I think it was like almost 4 months ago that I passed 120,000, and I kept contributing, and the market was pulling back quite a bit, so I kept sticking in that 120 range. So finally passed 130 with the rally that just happened recently. So getting into the update for this month. So in terms of dividends, received $445 in dividend yield for November, and it's a little bit lower just because of BDY's distribution being 15 cents rather than the like usual 17 to 20 cents we've seen in the recent months. So that monthly income was a little bit lower. So I did make one new position inside of my portfolio, and this is more of a like personal bet. So it's not really like part of my main portfolio, kind of like the all my core funds, and it's on its own. It's more of a hedge in my opinion. So I've decided to buy the iShares Gold Bullion ETF from BlackRock, and I've put about $2,000 in it, and this is really just a personal bet against inflation. So gold generally acts as a inflation hedge, and we've seen very high levels of inflation in the last couple of years, and I think it's going to continue. I don't think there's like really any politically viable strategy for like any correction to our financial system other than to create more inflation because usually like all a politician will do is promise more and more and not say, well, we're not going to tax you anymore. So what that leads to is you just have just a lot more money printing, and the consequence of that is you pay taxes through inflation. You end up doing that anyway. So that's why I've decided to get a little bit of a position inside of gold as a hedge against inflation, and bet that yeah, like we're going to see more and more inflation over the next couple of years. So I yeah made that $2,000 position. It doesn't offer any dividend yield. It's just kind of like think of it as additional savings within my emergency fund above like that $10,000 that I have in cash. Um, yeah, so in terms of the dividends, so I actually did something interesting this month. I actually withdrew the passive income from my non-registered account. So I actually withdrew about $250 outside of my non-registered account. That's actually not going to be included in that um, total for this month because if I did, and if I didn't do that, I'd be almost at I'd be at 130, almost 500 as well with that. So. Um, why I decided to do that was I actually don't think it's worth like reinvesting those dividends inside of my non-registered account when I'm going to be getting a lot of new contribution space in the new year inside of all of my accounts, like the TFSA and FHSA right away, and RSP obviously when I know my new contribution amount around the March timeframe. So that's why I decided to just withdraw those dividends. And actually my Tangerine savings account is offering now 6% interest. So I decided to just take those distributions out and throw them into that 6% high interest savings account. And yeah, so, and I also included on the spreadsheet here just my like grand total. Basically, think is like my not net worth, but like total of all my investments because I actually do have with my employer a registered pension plan, employee savings plan, and I do have a tiny RSP inside of it that I did when I first started working, and it's like only like a little over $1,000. And I'm just too lazy to like put it into like transfer it over to Wealthsimple because I think there's like some fees that get charged to you if I like try to do that. So I decided to just leave that. So it is a tiny RSP, but the bulk of it's the pension plan and the employee savings plan, and that's actually just over $30,000 now. So like if I add that to my investments with Wealthsimple, I'm sitting at just over $160,000 now. So that's just for my own personal like this isn't really like doesn't include really my self-directed investing. This is just with my employer. So, but that yeah, that's how much I have across all of my investing technically. So yeah, that's it for this update, and I'll see you in the next one.